Here we are in Brentwood at one of the most important projects that I've worked on in my career. I had a wonderful client, Friesen. He was a big collector of art in Los Angeles. He loved the art world, he loved the artists, and he was constantly collecting and settling pieces into his garden. And I learned from him. I have to be honest, I really learned a great deal about the placement of art from Gil. You don't want the pieces squawking to each other, and there's a very calm sense about this garden, even though there's multiple pieces of art. Each one has been cited to have its own territory, its own space, and ability for someone to just be in awe of the simplicity. The makeover was a real place of experimentation on my part, in that I could create this very strong axial alignment, not unlike some of the English gardens. After coming back from England, I had been inspired by Sackville-West, and here was the opportunity to make a graceful, tight stairway descending the hill and bringing you down to the lowest walking path. You have a choice at that walking path. Am I going to go right or am I going to go left? And they both have wonderful opportunities for someone to stroll and contemplate and think while walking around. And you think about it as a way to open your consciousness to your movement, to your thought process, and to your relationship with nature. It's a very specific type of walking path that has few benches along it. It's mostly for circumambulating. And the client liked this idea. And then splaying off of this sort of ritual path, I guess we could call it, because this path gets you right down into the heart of the garden. There's no meandering. This is a straight shot, and it's a descent of probably 30 feet in elevation, which is considerable. Once you're down at the very bottom of the axial alignment with the house, you're at a beautiful water fountain with the sound of bubbling water. And then you turn to your left and you move around to the orchard. The orchard has had a number of different incantations, becoming a sculpture garden at one point, becoming a vegetable garden at another point. There was flexible programming for these areas. The other side of the axial path is a badminton garden. And one of my favorite images of that place is the outline of the court was made from a different type of lawn, so that it was brighter and greener and very short, surrounded by a longer Kentucky bluegrass that would make the delineation of that badminton court. Garden was also different kinds of trees aligned the pathway. Ginkgo trees for the badminton court area. And then over on the east side, this was a much more programmatic garden, not problematic, but we had a program for it, that we would have it yield all kinds of vegetables and fruits and things for the house. But let me tell you a little bit about the entrance. Very graceful, very short, very sweet, tight entry court made out of grass and pavers. Keeping that simplicity, but still providing the necessary parts to get the groceries into the house. He allowed all of this experimentation and really enjoyed it, and would invite me over. Well, why don't we take a look at this for a while? This isn't looking so good. What do you think? So that gave me the opportunity to create these series of probably 8 or 9 different sub-gardens, smaller spaces for retreating to as a ritual in a way.